Hey Donna. So
Hey, it
it's
has been a while.
been a little while.
I kind of miss our little talks.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna get back to doing this. It's just been quite busy, and we will reveal soon enough, not today, but we'll reveal soon enough as to why it's been this way. But
Yeah.
I'm glad to see you on this again, and we're about to just jump into this. There's no script, as always. We're just gonna talk it out. But tell us
I,
what we're gonna be talking about
I
today.
kind of wish we weren't talking about this subject.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure this is going to be a challenging subject for sure because you've been dealing with it for a little while.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is I want you to share why we're here today, and then we just share your story of what happened, what occurred, or what just yeah, just share your version of the story of what you're experiencing right now.
Yeah. And I'm sure anybody that has been following me along the way got little snippets from my videos of something going on, but I never really quite revealed it because honestly, I wasn't strong enough to. I mean, you know, all the backstory, you know, because you know how long it took for me to get my arms around this. But it happened on literally March 8th. I woke up and I felt like it's when you're in an airplane and you feel that fullness in your ear and you yawn or you chew gum to pop your ear.
Yeah.
It wouldn't pop. So I thought, okay, something's going on. And I that morning went to urgent care because I knew I was in a couple weeks going to be taking care of my granddaughter. I didn't want to be getting sick. I didn't want fluid in my ear. So I went to urgent care. They looked, they said, no redness, no fluid, no infection. It's probably eustachian tube dysfunction. We can put you on a light course of steroids, or you can take some over-the-counter decongestant, whatever. It should clear up in a week. Okay, I wasn't worried. I left. A week later, still the same thing. It was horrible. It was like driving me crazy. So I went into a different walk-in clinic at a local hospital, and I saw a PA there. And she, no infection, red ear, nothing at all, no fluid. Could be eustachian tube dysfunction. I said, okay. And I said, how do you know? See, she got a little irritated with me because I started asking questions. How do you know it's eustachian tube dysfunction? Well, she said, because nothing looks wrong. And it's probably that. I said, but can you see it? And she was very irritated. No, can't see that. And said, I can put you on a light course of steroids, or you can take over-the-counter decongestants, blah, blah, blah. Same thing.
Yeah.
But because I was being so persistent, she goes, I will send a referral into an ENT. Okay, so she did. The ENT's office called me a week later. So now this is the third week with this. And went to schedule an appointment. Well, our new patients, we can't get you in until the first week in April, but I'll schedule you for the first week in April with our PA. Can't see the ENT because I was a new patient. Okay, so I scheduled it. It got to be the end of March, and I got a phone call from the ENT office saying, oh, I'm sorry, our PA won't be in. We have to move you back. So they moved my appointment down to April 22nd. I was like, I really need to see somebody sooner. You can't. And they said, we have nothing. So then I went to another doctor in Pensacola. I found an ENT that I could see in Pensacola who would see me the first week in April.
Yeah.
Went to see him. And by the way, there is a method to this, all this madness, why I'm going step by step. But I went to see this ENT in Pensacola, and he examined me. Now, everything looks fine. Probably eustachian tube dysfunction. If you don't want to be put on a light course of steroids, then you should take, I don't know whether he said Dayquil every day for 10 days. And I'm like, okay. And he said, and I will set you up because you really need to get a hearing test. I'll schedule you for, no, he goes, we'll get you for a hearing test. And I'm like, okay. And he said, follow me. And I thought we were going right then and there. He brought me to the front desk to schedule it. Scheduled it for the 30th of April, which was after the ENT appointment that I had in locally.
Yeah.
And so I walked out of his office, went in my car, and I literally cried. I thought I was going crazy. It's like nobody wants to do anything. I'm telling you, it's making me crazy. So I drove back home, waited for my appointment with the ENT, got in to see the PA on the 22nd of April. She examined my ears. She said, they look fine. There's nothing, but when you like plug your nose and blow, she said, nothing's moving on this side. let's go for an ear test. We'll see if it's eustachian tube. And I said, okay, went for the ear test, hearing test. They do various testing when you're in there. And I got back to in front of the doctor or the PA, and she said, no, it's not eustachian tube. It is, it's called sudden neurosensory hearing loss. And she said it's brought on by a virus that could be attacking your auditory nerve. And oh, by the way, you waited too long to come in. Had you have come in within a certain time frame, we could have given you high dose steroids, not a light course of steroids, high dose steroids, and or a shot of steroids to your ear, and it could possibly be reversed. But right now, there's nothing we can do. I'm so sorry. Do you want a hearing aid?
Wow.
Yeah. You want to talk about, you know how I am as far as when something's delivered. The dust has to settle. I have to kind of get my arms around it. I walked out to my car and lost it. I literally lost it. I thought, here, I tolerated this for however long, from March 8th until now, April 22nd. I tolerated it knowing that, okay, this could possibly be eustachian tube dysfunction. And I had heard that they do a procedure where they can do a balloon dilation. They go up your nose and they blow up your eustachian tube and clear it. And I was like, oh, I'll be great on the 22nd of April. Now to hear that this is my life, this was permanent. And oh, by the way, I waited too long. When I came in and I said to her, I said, listen, and I was saying it with tears in my eyes. I said, in this short time that I have been here, I've learned more about ENT work than I have than probably anybody that went through the medical profession. Why didn't anybody know that when they don't see any infection, don't see any fluid, don't see anything, why didn't they know that this is an emergency?
Yeah.
They didn't know. So from there, I wasn't going to take that for an answer. I called Mayo Clinic, the prestigious Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville, Florida, to see if I said, I want a second opinion. They asked for all of my records. And I said, well, I do want a second opinion. I'll have all my testing redone with you, because years ago when I had vertigo and I had to get vestibular testing, I had it done in Destin. But when I went to UAB in Birmingham, Alabama, they said, we don't want anybody else's tests. We want to do ours ourselves. So I had to do it again, which was horrible testing, by the way. But so I thought, okay, Mayo Clinic is going to retest. Maybe they'll see something different.
Yeah.
And I waited a couple more weeks before they called me back and said, the doctors reviewed your case and they deny your request to be seen.
So they waited weeks. So you ended up redoing all the testing and then waited weeks, and then
they wouldn't do the testing. They didn't even want to do the testing.
Oh, so they waited weeks, didn't do the testing, and they still
even, yeah.
They reject. Oh, wow.
Just to even let me know that, oh, we agree with your doctor in Fort Walton, and no, we deny your request to be seen. Like, it's like, we can't be bothered with somebody like you because we know this is permanent. So then I called UAB in Birmingham and I scheduled an appointment there. Couldn't get in to see their ENT until, well, November 26th or something like that. I still haven't seen her, but got in to see the PA the end of July.
Yeah.
August 1st, I had an appointment with an ENT at Emory Medical in Atlanta. So it wasn't until August 1st that I really, really got some answers. And this doctor at Emory, I mean, I can't say enough about that place. She was so caring, so understanding, listened, gave me hope. I mean, she's like, we're going to put you on a strong course of steroids, because she said, although rare, I have seen it happen within, if you can catch it before 6 months. I was at the 5-month time frame by then. And she did a procedure to see if she could release the pressure, because not only do I hear that constant buzzing and ringing and noise, that white noise, I hear it all the time, 24/7. I hear it all the time.
You're hearing it right now.
I'm hearing it right now. That not only do I hear that, and with this auditory nerve damage, I mean, my hearing is decreased by a lot. So if my hearing, if on a scale from 1 to 10, if my hearing on my right ear is a 10, perfect hearing, left ear is about a 2. So it's like the volume has been turned down.
Yeah. Okay.
I can still hear, but it's really quiet. But I hear that buzzing, ringing, and the pressure. And she said, I can see if we can relieve the pressure today.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was a little scared because it's like, I just flew here this morning. I'm flying back tonight. Could it kick me into vertigo? And she goes, it could, but I don't think it will. And you'll either get immediate relief or not if you're willing to give it a shot. And fortunately, I had April with me. I had a friend to meet me there. And if it wasn't for her, I don't know that I would have gone through with the procedure, because she's like, if something goes wrong, you can stay at my house. I'm here with you. This is what you came here for. So I did the procedure where she numbed my eardrum. And let me just say, if anybody had a ruptured eardrum, my heart goes out to you, because she was numbing my eardrum. And just when the numbing cream hit my eardrum, it was very painful. That was the only painful thing. So I couldn't imagine. But she numbed it 3 times. The third time I felt nothing. The first 2 I did.
So forgive me, when numbing, when you said cream, is it a Q-tip or are you talking about like a needle?
It's a Q-tip. And as soon as the Q-tip,
that far down is like, okay.
as soon as it touched my eardrum, pain, like I shut my left eye and pain shot straight through my whole left side.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know. Because I said, April, you want to see it? Because there's a large TV in front of me.
Yeah.
So the procedure's on the screen so I could see it. She's so funny. She goes, yeah, she stood next to me, but it hurt. That part hurt. But then I thought, okay, they're going to poke a hole through my eardrum to see if they can release the pressure. No. No, it's not poking a hole. I could see a scalpel coming in there, and it's like slice. And then I saw the hole cut open. And I'm like, okay. She goes, okay, procedure's done. Do you feel any relief? I said, honestly, you've done my ear 3 times. I feel nothing right now. So, fortunately, I had April and we went and grabbed lunch. But after lunch, when the numbing wore off, we went back to see the doctor and discussed it. And it didn't help at all. If it did help, she was going to put a tube in my ear to hold it open. If it didn't help, she's like, okay, it'll close within 3 days to a week. You're going to hear, the sound's going to feel like you're in a tunnel, which, okay, great. I can't hear well. I hear buzzing and ringing and noises, and now I'm going to be in a tunnel for a week.
So is it like you lived in New York, right? You've been down in the subway? Mm-hmm. Does it sound like that consistent, like the subway itself? Like you hear everyone's talking, you hear all the noise, you hear the background and screeching, everything just like a loud cafe just in the ear?
Well, when I'm alone and in my home and it's quiet, and if I don't have the TV on or anything, all I hear is the ringing and the white noise.
Okay.
If I'm talking one-on-one like to you, I can hear you. But if I was in a restaurant right now, I would hear all the noise. So it would make it really difficult for me to talk to you.
Yeah, everything is distracted coming in all at one time. So it's hard to just pay attention to what's coming from the person.
Yeah. And you would think that I'd be able to, because I hear perfectly out of my right ear, but I don't know what's happening here. And in the ringing and the sounds that I hear, it's because your brain is trying to make up for what you can't hear. So it's my brain creating these noises. That's why you can't stop them.
Oh, wow.
You can't run away from it. You can't, it's like with you. I thought, and as you know, Simeon, because I talked to you when this started, my goal after I found out April 22nd that it was permanent, every day my goal was to not cry.
Yeah.
And every day until July 1st, I cried.
And that's like, I'm bringing it up, that's like a few days before your birthday.
Yes.
So it's like you're about to go through this whole thing, and then all of a sudden this comes up, and it's been one thing after another, because the year before you passed out and everything was happening, and then now it's this here, but this is okay. So can you tell me, what does it feel like? Did you feel like the medical system failed you? Did you feel like people you were treated like a number? How did you feel? Because so also you were in different states getting tested.
Yes, I went to Alabama. I went to Georgia.
Yeah, so Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and then you're getting rejected in another part of Florida because they just wouldn't even see you after weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, so
the only people that truly wanted to see me, UAB in Birmingham, Alabama, they were open to see me. I didn't go to the Wexner Medical Clinic in Ohio State, but Ohio State University has that. They were more than willing. They called and they said, if you need anything, we'll schedule it. You can fly out here. And Emory in Atlanta. And I did fly out there to go to that appointment. But what I felt is, because just as in humans, there's good ones, there's bad ones.
Yeah, yeah,
Physicians, there's good ones, there's bad ones.
yeah.
There's people who care, there's people that are checking a box.
Yeah.
So it depended on where I went as to how I was treated. However, what bothered me was that the lack of knowledge, because when I went to UAB, the PA there told me, he's like, our people, our front desk people know that if somebody complains that they can't hear and that there's no infection or cold or anything, to get them in immediately. Don't wait. Get them in immediately because this is an emergency. This is critical. So the fact that I went to urgent care with no urgency on their part,
Yeah.
walk-in medical clinic. I think she was irritated with me because I asked too many questions.
Which,
And
oh
yeah,
my gosh, the audacity of you to ask questions about your well-being. My gosh.
which again is what we're talking about here, is that you need to be an advocate for yourself.
Yeah.
You know your body better than anybody.
You know, it's wild though. Today with the foods that we eat, the stress that we carry, the lack of movement that we do, many of us don't know like our bodies. So they go to someone else to tell them about their bodies because we're not willing to slow down and feel, listen, because unfortunately that takes accountability.
Yeah.
That's the most challenging thing with majority of people in the world today. So the fact that you're taking accountability and going to all these places, but still not receiving or asking questions about yourself because you're asking a professional who is there to feel you, help you at ease, feel it at ease, but at the same
Yes.
time to help cure or heal or figure out what can be done for you. And you're getting someone who's, I don't want to say customer service because they're not technically in the customer service field, but it's
No, but they signed an oath, in the medical community.
yeah.
And I do have to say, the doctor at Emory, she was amazing. She didn't give me false hope, but she gave me hope. I mean, she said it's rare, but I've seen it happen. And even after I was done with the course of steroids and she wanted to hear from me, and I let her know that I'm not getting any relief. I don't know whether it worked. I said, is this what I need to expect? Is this my new normal? Even then, she said, let's wait to the 6-month mark. Usually at the 6-month mark, you're going to know if this is how it's going to be, because this is what it will be. My 6-month mark is September 8th. So I hold out hope. I have faith, but I also want to, out of this, because, we always say everything happens for a reason. Out of this, I want people to be aware. If I couldn't help me, I got to help somebody with this.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So with us sharing this, what was the feeling like whenever, like I said, everyone's telling you, so you went to the car, you were crying. What was the feeling like back to back to back to back of hearing this and then people not helping? What was that feeling that you were carrying? Because like I said, this was a few days before your birthday.
Yeah.
What was going on? Were you stressed, depressed, feeling anger, feeling anxious? What was coming up for you?
Everything, Simeon, everything. I'm not suicidal, but I didn't want to live.
Yeah.
I didn't want to live, and then you get the people say, well, at least you can still hear. Yes, I can. And I'm very thankful for that. However, you don't understand that it's like, if you had a drip of water on your head all day, how eventually it'd make you crazy. I felt like I was going insane, yet the world around me, I looked normal. I looked okay. They didn't know. So, I mean, I'm sitting here, people crumble up a piece of paper and I have to, I freak out. Water, running water. So every time I had to take a shower, wash my hair, it's like, it's annoying. It's truly annoying. I don't even know when this is going to let up, that my brain's going to take over and say, okay, we're going to get used to this and it's okay. But in the meantime, every day is a struggle. I cried every day from April 22nd to July 1st. By July 1st, I got excited because I went through a whole day without crying. Because I remember talking to you and I said, I haven't cried yet. And then something happened and oops, I jinxed myself. I did.
So question for you. Because you say it's coming from the brain. So even if you take like one of those earplugs and put in your ear while you're in the shower, you still hear the screeching and the white noise though.
I hear that, but it muffles the water. So I've tried that and it muffles the water sound. But then, I blow dry my hair. that high pitched sound is what I'm already hearing. So it's adding it onto that. It's just annoying. It's
Yeah,
just annoying.
yeah. It's like when someone says at least you could hear. The only thing I thought about was Freddy Krueger back in there on that chalkboard. And he scratches the chalkboard. It's like, yeah, but if they're hearing that all the time, would you really want to hear? It's like, no.
Well, yeah. And would you say to somebody if they were an amputee, well, at least you have the other arm, at least you have the other leg, at least you can still hobble
No,
around?
not
You
at
wouldn't.
all. Not at all. I just told Kelly we went for a walk the other day. We're going up and down the stairs, and I told my cousin one time. My cousin, he's muscle dystrophy, never able to walk since birth. And I told her, I said, every time I'm running, like, man, I didn't work out today. My legs hurt. And he said, man, I wish. And I'm like, shut up, Simeon. I'm like, don't say anything. So the same thing you're saying, you're not gonna say, at least you have, at least this is like, no, don't do that unless you're walking in that person's shoes. So
However, I am thankful that I can still hear. And I am thankful that if I cover up my right ear, I can still hear out of my left ear. There are some people that lose 100% of their hearing. And it's odd because I've learned a lot about this. I still don't know enough, but when they did the hearing test, they check your word recognition. They say words and you have to repeat them back. My right ear, 100%. My left ear, 97%. So I understand words.
yeah.
The sounds, on the other hand, when they do low tones, high tones, the sounds, when you see my chart, just tanks.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. So overall, you've gone through this quite a bit. So you're
Mhm.
no, 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 and having some hope here. September 8th is your date. My question for you is how are you processing everything like right now?
I don't know. It's a day-to-day thing. I process it differently. I've been praying on it. I do meditations. I have deep faith that if it's going to turn around, it will be, so I can be that example for people. But I'm processing it with the fact that, okay, I'm going to learn to live with this because the alternative isn't good, not to live.
Yeah.
Um, I guess I'm still in the uncertain stage because I don't know what the bottom line landing page is going to be here. I don't know if I'll be able to go to a restaurant again. I don't know whether I am going to be able to go to family functions and dinners with everybody talking and laughing and be able to stand it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm still uncertain. I'm processing it as it goes.
Yeah. Okay. And then the next question I have for you was, okay, you're saying that you want to be able to help people with your story. So my question to you is, if someone was starting to go through this process, starting to hear high pitching or white noise in their ear, and they need to go see a doctor, what would you tell them if that person was in your shoes at the very beginning of this?
Well, that's a whole other ball. There's two different things. There is that sound,
Mm-hmm.
noise.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. That a lot of people with hearing loss, military people, people that have been around loud noises,
Yeah.
rock stars, they get that.
Yeah.
People get that, and you get it as you age too. You're going to get that somewhere down the line. So the
Thank,
ringing and buzzing you get.
thank you for telling me that. Listen, looking forward to.
You know, I always give you highlights, Jimmy.
This is truly appreciated. Don't worry.
But it's the pressure and the muffled hearing. If you have that, if you go to sleep normal and you wake up and your hearing is muffled, it feels like you are on a plane and you can't pop your ear. You go to blow, you got to chew, swallow, whatever, yawn, and you can't pop your ear and you can't hear. It's go to an ENT. Go to, I don't care if you have to go, they say usually go to urgent care because the emergency room is way too expensive. So is your health. Go say, I cannot, and these are the words I was told by the ENT. I cannot hear. I could hear yesterday and I woke up and I cannot hear, because that means there's a viral attack on your auditory nerve. And once your auditory nerve, unlike with Bell's palsy, if you have facial damage, and Bell's palsy is when your face is paralyzed,
Yeah.
your facial nerves can regenerate themselves. Your auditory nerve cannot.
Oh.
So once it's gone, it's gone. Because I even asked, I said, is there stem cell therapy? Is there any type of research there? And right now, from what I'm being told, and not by the Dr. Emery, but everybody else, but what I've been told is there is nothing that anybody can do. This is your life.
Mhm. Okay. And so my question to you is, if you could tell someone, a doctor, what would you tell the doctor if someone came in there and they handled it the way that they handled it with you?
Wow. Uh, See, it depends on their personality because I almost want to go back to urgent care and find the person who diagnosed me and say very kindly,
Go
um,
yourself. Very kindly go yourself.
no, to say, to
I saw the
say,
look. He was like, I'm thinking of it. I'm like, okay, is that it? No, but
no,
forgive me.
to say very kindly, when someone comes in, if you're not seeing any infection or fluid or anything, you see no other indications, and they say they can't hear, they have muffled hearing, please take it as an emergency. I would like to tell them that. I would like to go into the walk-in clinic that I went to at a hospital and tell them that. Train your people more. It's urgent. I did talk to the doctor in Pensacola, and I actually, not face to face, I wrote him a 3-page letter, and I definitely vented and got it off my chest because it's like I could possibly excuse the walk-in clinic. I could possibly excuse urgent care. You are an ENT. You should know better.
Yeah.
And you missed it. You missed the mark, and I'm suffering for your mistake. So in that, and I, I did that because he sent me a bill, and it was like, oh, it frustrated me. And I said, okay, if you have a conscience, you'll either write this bill off, or if you don't, you will get payment as quickly as I got care.
Yeah.
So, you know what I got back from that? He sent me a past due bill. So again, there's some people that just don't care.
That's what I'm gonna say. It's more so is like when they won't go further testing, it's like you're more so, hey, instead of me wasting my time on this person, I have better things to do. And it's like
Yeah.
you're not following your oath. It's like you just sit there and rule it completely out. Say there's nothing showing, no scarring, nothing that I can see, no redness. Okay, goodbye. Here's go take some pills or take some steroids. It's like, well, how about we find out what's going on further?
Yeah.
So
No, it doesn't happen. And when Mayo Clinic turned me down, I was just like, you got to know. And I could be wrong, but I don't believe I am. There's no money in me. There's no money. They could make no money off of me because in their eyes, this is the diagnosis. We know there's nothing else that can be done, or that's what we believe there's nothing more that can be done.
So did it? So okay. So did you feel more like a transaction rather than a patient?
With Mayo Clinic, I did.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
unfortunate for sure.
Yes. And the doctor, well, UAB, the PA that I saw, he said, because I still never canceled my appointment for November with the ENT because I'm thinking, okay, it's progression. I'm going to be another few months down the road, and maybe something else will come up. But UAB did say that when you see the ENT, maybe she'll suggest something else, or maybe at that point, because a lot of people get hearing aids. Hearing aids can block out some of the background noise.
Yeah.
Some of the background noise. So a lot of people that get them don't wear them. It's just annoying. But the ENT that I saw at Emory, she didn't even say that. She didn't once say to me, "Oh, this may be permanent. Do you want a hearing aid?" She didn't even say that. She said, "Let's try this procedure. Let's try the steroids. Let's see how you do." And even after I didn't get success with that, let's see what else there is. She still gives you a little bit of hope. And I guess,
She's forgive me. She's just not crossing off the board and said, "Okay, I'm done with that." She's
yeah,
like, let's see what's going to happen before we call it quits."
right, right. And that's pretty much, you just want to be heard. You want to be heard. You want somebody to care that's in the medical profession to say, okay, because again, this isn't life threatening, although as you saw in the video I sent to you,
Which we'll share here.
yeah, some people feel suicidal. Some people get so depressed. I isolated myself for the longest time. I didn't want to be around people, and it's hard for me to be around people, but I have to be. But it just, I even forgot the point I was going to make.
Well, I want to say the noise that you're going through is like you could talk to somebody all day, like you said, no one could see it. They
Yeah.
can't tell. You could talk to somebody all day about it, but they can't experience what you're experiencing. Until a while ago, when you sent me that video and I watched it, and I was like, oh, that's what it's like. Because you know me, I'm like, Don, I'm gonna pray about it. I'm praying for you. Let me know what's going on. But then when you share it, it's like, oh, I get a small, very, very small taste of what you're going through. Just
Yeah.
a very small. So
And only half of it. That's only half of it. The other half is the pressure
yeah,
and the muffled hearing.
yeah. So
So
okay.
the
Mhm.
noise, the ringing and the buzzing is loud,
Yeah.
and the sounds and the words are muffled. Isn't that odd?
Yeah, okay. It's because a higher pitch, I guess. It's like the noise. It's like if you're clanging down a cup on the table on one of the little saucer plates, and it's like you hear that loud noise, but then you're not hearing the sounds come through clearly, someone's voice or what it's saying. So the
Yeah.
word is good, but the sound itself.
I mean, this, I'll show you, makes me crazy.
I can't even hear that. That's the wild part.
Do you know what I can't hear? You know, if you go like this with your fingers, I can hear this great on my right ear, cannot hear it on my left
At all?
at all.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So what I would love to do is let's do another one of these to kind of see what's going on. Because like I say, September 8th is going to be a day when it shows that that's your 6 month mark. So what I would love to see is where we're at. Either September 9th or September 8th or whatever, or we wait a week after to determine how you feel. But I want to kind of follow up with this and see what's going on. Because like you said, it's a day-to-day thing of how you're processing what's happening. Because right now you're in the midst of it. You're in it.
I'm in it, but the thing is, and this is the other deal. This is what I had to come to grips with like by July 1st.
Yeah.
That's what I'm giving myself that time frame to cry, be depressed, be whatever, and come out of it, because nobody wants to be around a crybaby all the time. Nobody wants to be around a depressed, sad person all the time. And my point that I forgot that I wanted to say before is, like, unlike with a serious illness, because like I said, this is not life threatening. With a serious illness, people going through cancer, people going through very serious things. Sometimes they have a good day. They feel good for a day.
Yeah.
I feel like this every day. The only time I have peace is when I close my eyes and go to sleep, because I'm sleeping. But as soon as I wake up, I think I lay in bed, I wake up, I open my eyes thinking, maybe it's gone today. Maybe it's okay. As soon as I sit up, there it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And then on top of that, sometimes you're still dealing with this and vertigo at the same time.
Yeah, and I often wonder, and I asked the doctor at Emory whether she felt that there was a connection, because I've gotten vertigo, viruses, like whatever illness, whatever virus, they lay dormant in your body. If you ever have cold sores or anything, I've gotten cold sores. I've gotten them up in my nose.
Wow.
Part of your sinus cavity connected to your ear. I mean, maybe it was that type of viral infection. Maybe it was, I didn't ever have COVID, but maybe it was a COVID infection. Who knows what type of viral infection, but it attacked my ear. I also passed out on my left side. If you have a concussion, there's things like that. Everything that's happening to me is always on my left side.
Yeah. Yeah. So
usually this is a unilateral thing. It's rare that you wake up and both ears are gone. It's usually one.
Got you. Okay. So what is there anything that you'd like to share with everybody who's watching this right now? Is there something that you kind of want to get off your chest or anything?
Fight for yourself. Again, I knew I wasn't feeling right. I knew I had to go. I even did some like crazy things I went and scheduled an appointment. I didn't, not to get plastic surgery, but I scheduled an appointment. I think I told you about it, with a plastic surgeon that used to be an ENT, just to get in to say, he's like, oh, we could do this and this. And I'm like, yeah, but I can't hear. I mean, this is the stuff you go through. You will do whatever to feel better. And I guess what I'm saying here, for anybody in any situation, if you feel in your heart of hearts that you want to fight the fight, do not take a diagnosis. Get a second opinion. Don't take the first diagnosis. Get a third opinion. Do whatever you have to do to make yourself better. Doctors are busy. The medical professional is overloaded. Some of them don't care, because I have a few doctors that are amazing, that really, really care. So I'm not bashing the medical community by a long shot. And couple it with, because when you say something about holistic and I do this, and people are like, oh, you're one of those. Right? Is that true?
It's,
Like,
it's absolutely true.
yeah.
It's absolutely true. When we tell people, because I'm functional medicine, holistic medicine, so it's
Yeah.
like literally whenever you tell someone, "Oh, you could heal by changing the ways you eat," and they're like, "Oh, I hate this." I'm like, "Let me shut up." I had to learn. I literally had to learn to shut up
Yeah.
because, yeah. So, with that being said, that could be a challenge before we even go, because being accountable or fighting for yourself is what most people aren't doing, because we're
Right.
so used to taking care of everybody else when it comes down to ourselves. I was just telling Kelly this other day. There's something I want to purchase, and it's not even a lot of money, and I have not purchased it. But I said it's so bad, I will purchase and buy things for everybody else. But when it comes to myself, it's like I want to go get it. So
Yes.
the same thing when it comes to our health. It's like we have to the studies I've done through Dr. Richard Anderson is like when you learn to take accountability for your health and fighting for that,
Yeah.
you have changed your life drastically. So what you just said a while ago with fighting for yourself,
Yeah.
don't just accept the first diagnosis. And that's the one thing that he says as well, Dr. Richard Anderson says, if you accept that diagnosis, that's where you mess up, because most people put something on you and then you believe it and you give up.
Yeah. I mean, doctors are human too. They can make a mistake.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But you
Absolutely.
know what? This is the thing that a lot of doctors don't do, which the doctor at Emory, she did when she said, because I told her, I said, I'm very sensitive to medications. If I really didn't want to take steroids, really didn't. But she said, when you take these, eat healthy, stay away from sugar, stay away from simple carbohydrates, stay away from that stuff, and you should be fine. I juiced, I ate all like organic stuff, fruits and vegetables and things. Everything I did, I ate healthy all week. Like she's like, don't stay away from candy, stay away from chocolate, stay away. And I did, and I had minimal side effects. It was only after I went off of them, I had the weird side effects with my whole digestive tract decided to go crazy. But yeah, she added that, which a lot of doctors don't. Take this medicine, take this, and you'll be fine, or whatever. You know, I just think, as you and I know, and a lot of people do. I mean, look at what you're ingesting. You know, you can eat a potato chip. I found two brands of potato chips that you can get that are three ingredients: sea salt, potatoes, and avocado oil. You can still eat stuff. It's you're not depriving yourself of so, oh, I can't eat that. I got to be this. I got to be that. I mean, you're vegan. You don't preach to people that everybody who needs to be vegan.
Absolutely not. People
You
already, society already don't like me. Society already doesn't like me. I'm not gonna tell you what to do for yourself.
It's like, be healthy within your realm. Work with what you got.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Pick the better foods. Pick the better. I mean, like fast food. And when I told people, a few people, about the steroids and to stay, I need to stay away from this kind of food this week. I'm not going to do this. I'll drink a lot of fluids. And they're like, that's stupid. What are you doing that for? You can eat candy. You can have this. I'm like, okay.
Oh, that's gonna be a whole other topic we could talk about, because I'm so fascinated when it comes to what we put into our bodies. There's a scripture, I believe, a verse that says, how's it go? Many people live to eat, few people eat to live. So many of us are like, oh my gosh, this is so wonderful. This is so tasty. This is the butter. This is just drenched this and that and blah, 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 blah. Right. So, but then it's like, what is that really doing to you? what is that actually happening to your body? And we're wondering why we're having problems with our heart. We're wondering why we're having problems with our just over our entire body and our we can't digest. So we're gonna go to that a whole nother time because I don't want
We
to.
will.
I don't
We
want
will. You know what I get, Simeon? Oh,
to,
here, you eat healthy and you're always sick. Look at you. You got this problem.
ah,
You can't win for losing.
Father, forgive them for they know not what they do. That's all I can say. Right? It's like that's it. That is it. Well, Donna, I appreciate you opening up because, like you said, you couldn't talk about it at the beginning because it was very hard for you to do. So for you having the courage to come share this now, I appreciate you being willing to do this. So if this helps someone else watching this, please take accountability for your health. And if you don't know where to start, talk to Donna, talk to myself. We'll guide you if we possibly can. We'll give you a free coaching call if you need it. But yeah. So I mean, just I appreciate you doing this.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you doing this with me. And you know, again, to your point about spending on yourself, do you know how much money I spent in the medical community from March 8th until now? A lot, thousands. And it's like, I would have rather done something fun with it. So choose you, do something for yourself. I mean, I could have given up and said, that's it, and just laid down and died. But I would have always wondered if you turn over every stone. This is again, you had asked how I'm gonna deal with this. I know I tried everything. If this is my end result, I tried everything. I will never have to say, what if?
Yeah, yeah. And this way you can accept it a whole different way than having that whole guilt upon you or shame upon you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Because if you just said and said, all right, well, I did that one thing and the doctor said so and so, and I don't need this anymore. And all of a sudden, then can you imagine if you accepted from the day one when they finally got back in touch with you, and then you heard from a doctor, yeah, you could be up to 6 months, and you're like, wait, what? So yeah.
Yeah.
And I told you while we were talking about this throughout this entire process, I told you that I'm glad that you're being proactive with it. You're not allowing it to just slip under the rug. Like, oh, I'll get to it later. It's like, no, this is your priority number one at that point. So
Yeah.
um, no, I appreciate you sharing because I know it's not easy.
Well, I want to thank you as well as anybody listening that has been in my little circle that has known what's been going on since the beginning. I had so much support, and even though it may not have been understood, I had that unconditional love and support, and I appreciate that more than I can even put into words.
Well, you're more than welcome. Stop it, but I made me tear up. I'm like, wait, hold on. I felt something in the back there. Like I was about to come, like, stay back there. I don't know if you've seen Cloudy Chest and Meatballs.
Right.
That one tear is coming. I was like, go back up there. And just go back up. But no, I appreciate you already sharing and being open with me the entire process. But for everyone who's watching this, please share with other people. This is what happens when, unfortunately, whether it's the medical field or people, or they're just busy, they feel like they don't need to move, discover more things that are happening within somebody. And don't be ashamed to ask a question. Just like Donna, you might irritate some doctors, but don't be ashamed to ask questions about yourself because at the end of the day, that doctor's not going home with you unless you're married to them. So, or they're your family somehow. I don't know. Yeah, but continue watching. If there's anything y'all want us to talk on, speak on, if you have any questions, Donna, can you tell them your email address they can reach you at?
DonnaCoach427@gmail.com.
So if you have any questions for Donna, if you already have her phone number, text her. But if you have her email, send her an email, ask some questions and everything. But until then, you all have a lovely one. We appreciate you watching this with both Donna and I, and we're gonna have a follow up on this as well as some other topics. So have a great one, and we'll catch you soon.
Thanks.
Okay. And then we got to figure out how we stop recording on this one. This is the, what do you call it? The blooper.
Yeah. Yeah.